Lovely to see you all. Um, I'm just hoping that you're all hearing me okay, because I keep having these funny little messages flashing up on my screen, but I shall trust it's all okay. This is a practice, really, another autumnal practice, and it's a practice to ground mind and body, really. I think at this time of year, it is strange after that abundance of summer where I think we have many easy, lovely, full days, don't we? In the sunny months over the summer. And then suddenly we get to autumn, and maybe it's just a thing of it correlates with the start of the school year. Maybe there's that sense of like having pushed forward through the year and we're suddenly approaching the year end. But time suddenly, I know for myself, seems to speed up quite a lot. And there's suddenly a sense of almost urgency to get things done. And just, I think also maybe with a change of weather with the fall approaching, um, there's just that shifting of the seasons. And I don't know about you, but at times it can kind of almost provoke a sense of restlessness, almost an anxiety. There's so many things that need to be done, and you're trying to kind of keep measured and calm. And you can almost feel like you're racing, as it were. So this practice is really to kind of counter that and to bring the mind and the body into a sense of really deep groundedness with the earth, to really feel our roots with the earth and to feel that sense of returning to the earth, which in a way is what nature is doing at this time of year. Um, as autumn approaches, the trees shed their leaves, and also all the vegetation stops growing. There's that sense of drawing inwards into one's energy source in preparation for the colder months. So that's where we're at today. So we're going to start very happily today in lying down on your belly. I'm just going to see if I can block out a bit of this sunshine. And while you do that, I think there's a little bit less than there. Nope. Kind of lying down on your belly for a moment. When you're there, what you want to do is you want to stretch out your right arm out in front of you. Your left hand's going to come by the side of the body, and your left arm is up. Just make yourself comfortable. Do make any adjustments you need to there, so you feel rested on your neck. And then I'd like you to really feel your in-breath. So when you breathe in, that's your kind of gauge to connect with the earth. That should do it. Very good, that's better. That's your gauge to connect with the earth, really, when you're lying on your belly. So right arm's just to the side, left arm's behind you, the palms facing up. And you're looking towards that right elbow. And just easing away with both elbows away from the head. And then, as you breathe in, just feel contact with your belly to the floor. So it's really using your in-breath to ground, and your out-breath will just follow. You'll feel a sense of ease. Keep your gaze soft, or else the eyes shut. And then now turning onto the other side, so your right hand's coming down by the side of the body, the palms up. And your left arm is just turning to the left-hand side, and you're turning your gaze over to the left. Again, use your in-breath to really ground your belly. Feel that sense of contact with the earth. And then your head coming to the center line. And both hands underneath the shoulders. And tucking your toes under and lifting slowly up into a gentle back bend. You can then come onto the flats of the feet. And then ease your way up onto all fours. And as you arrive on all fours, you may need to just adjust arms. You're just drawing your sit bones back towards your heels, but then lifting up and back here. And your forehead is going to drop down to the floor. And as the forehead arrives now on the mat, now see if you can soften your shoulders, so rather than feeling you've got to pull them forwards or backwards, just feel their weight sinking down. And just feeling your breath deep inside your belly. And slowly finding your way up onto all fours. Do take time here just to find a neutral position here for your spine. You may just want to shift your weight around a little bit, one side to the other. And then starting with your out breath, curving the spine up and slowly, moving slowly now, drawing the sit bones back. With your in-breath, you're easing through the spine between the shoulders. Your gaze is soft, in front of the hands, in front of the body. And you're just moving from one to the other. But the key this morning is slowness here. So there's no rush in any of your movement. Feeling that you need to keep up. Really letting yourself feel contact. Contact of mind to body, body to earth. We'll take one more round here. And then we're walking our hands forward just a fraction in front of us. There's a little bit of a diagonal through the arms now. Your toes are tucking under. And with your toes tucked under, then you're just lifting your knees a fraction. For just a moment of drawing up. And you're just going to breathe there, hovering. Keep rooting down into your hands here. It will really help to take the body's weight. Likewise, draw back into your heels. And then slowly you're easing your way into a down dog. Your knees will start bent here this morning. Adjust your feet so you've got quite a wide stance. And draw your sit bones up and back. Still keep that bend through the knees. Move your skull one side to the other. Now see if you can lift your toes up. So you're balanced on the ball of the feet, toes lifting, and then the toes will ease down, and you'll draw back and into your heels. And now you're going to let the weight of your head hang between your shoulders. And really let go of the head sway. Feel your arms supporting you. And then you'll draw the neck forward so it's in alignment with your arms. Bend your knees. Draw your sit bones all the way back towards your heels so you're crouching low. And then lifting up. Feet now planting down, so walk them forward so you can get your heels towards the floor. And you can feel steady there. And then you're slowly walking your hands back towards your feet. Do take your time here as you walk. You may want to adjust your feet in a little bit here. And now your hands will either come to your knees if that feels more comfortable, up to the shins, wherever feels right, up onto the fingertips if necessary. If you can, bend to knees and plant the palms down, and try that. And whatever version you're using, see now if you can anchor into your big toe pads. Really root down into the big toe, root back into the inner edge of the heel, the outer edge of the heel, and the little toe side of the foot. So all four corners of your feet are rooted to the floor. In Uttanasana, we're going to take another few breaths. So really let yourself ground here. Use your out breath to soften any tightness. It's taking you away from that contact with the earth. You'll bend your knees and look forward now. And then coming up onto the fingertips or hands on the shins, whatever supports your spine, start to roll your spine now up into standing. And you're arriving in standing, hands by the sides of the body, your palms forward. And just allow your eyes to shut as you breathe downwards into those four corners of the feet. Really soften the body's weight here. So any effort of doing, needing to create something, whether it's a sensation, thought, an action, just comes to rest in standing. Another breath here. And then your palms will come up to the heart. And from the heart, with the gaze soft, eyes opening towards the ceiling, and your palms will float up. And taking your time and moving into a slow sun salutation, so you'll circle all the way down towards the earth. Lovely. And from your earth, you'll offer your spine, whatever version you like doing, the gaze soft here. And then, hands coming back, and we're stepping back. If you like to work in down dog, then please feel free to do so. Otherwise, we're stepping the feet back into plank. So slowly you'll lower your hips down, the gaze soft, and ease back, root back into your heels. Either bring your knees down to soften the spine, and then come down to the belly. Otherwise, lower all the way down to the floor. So we're all meeting back on the belly. In breath, breathe into your belly, into the earth. And out breath. Just letting the out breath release from the body. Another in breath. Expansion into the earth. And out breath. Drawing back into the core. This in breath, lifting into cobra. Your feet sliding back, the gaze soft. And out breath, toes tucking under, knees lifting. And you're easing up and back into down dog. We'll just hinge, bend each knee and turn here. Just to open up into the backs of the legs. Can you feel your index finger, your thumb in contact with the mat? And we all turn our fingers slightly out to either side. Just to open up through the shoulders a little bit more. Another in breath. And then you'll bend your knees low. You'll draw your sit bones down so you're crouching. And your out breath, you're stepping, jumping, hopping your feet up to the top of the mat. In breath, offering spine.
Out breath back into Uttanasana, whatever version you feel to do this morning. But whatever version it is, feeling all four corners in contact with the floor. One more breath there. And then we're riding into chair pose. So you'll start to bend your knees and your arms will float up to the sides of the head. And you're rooting down as low as you can into your heels, into the feet. Now really let yourself drop down here. So it will feel a bit of, how to say, a bit intense, but will also really help to ground your energy. Another in-breath. Right elbow coming towards left, both knees are facing forward, so you keep your hips as square as you can. Right hand on top of the left hand. You can just pause there in prayer. You may want to open out your arms, whatever version feels like for you today. Back into prayer. Prayer, sorry child. Child, sorry chair. Got that. Make sure to. There we go. Coming into chair. You're going to feel it on the legs. Keep grounding them, rooting down. Right elbow over to the left hand side. Just finding a comfortable twisting position. You can open the arms out if you prefer. Else, back into the prayer in your twist. Next breath into chair. Very good. The words are coming a bit easier. And then down and into Uttanasana, which will feel quite heavenly as you release out. Again, root down through your feet. See if you can open up through the shoulders, taking your elbow points out to the sides a little bit. Really will help to soften the shoulders. An in-breath, offering the spine. Now choose your version, whether it's down dog, plank, and then stepping, hopping, walking back and into that. The gaze forward. And when you're ready to lower all the way down, either knees down or else the whole down. In breath, into cobra. And out breath, easing up and back into down dog. And when you arrive into down dog here, then your right leg is floating up high. Really draw it up high, point up into the toe. And then we're doing a kind of circular movement with this right knee. It's coming over towards your left hand, around to your right hand, and back out, and then back down. Take your time. Over to the left side. Left leg will float up, point out into the toes. Then the left knee will come over and in to your right side, over to the right hand, the left hand, back out behind you, and then floating down. Drop down onto your heel, onto your knees, and come back into child for a couple of breaths. Hands stretched out in front of you. So slide your arms in a little bit so you keep the elbows soft and the shoulders soft. Your last breath in, and you're coming through into cobra. So your gaze is soft as you look between your hands, and with that soft gaze, the spine will follow. You'll slide your feet back. In breath, into cobra. Out breath, coming back down again. Now, either you can push from cobra up into down dog, Else you can come into up dog here. You're on the flanks of the feet, hands underneath the shoulders. In breath to cobra, lift your knees up into up dog, the gaze soft, and either tucking toes under or rolling back on your feet into down dog. Coming into warrior one, in breath, right leg lifting up, really draw it skywards. And then the knee will come up towards your core. You'll come into a kind of plank position. Move back into your left heel. And the foot will come between hands. Do stand up and step there if you prefer to. Now, flipping your back foot down and anchor all four corners of the foot on the mat. Lunging onto the front knee, the arms floating up. In breath, into warrior one. Taking a couple more breaths here, so really anchor down the body's weight into your heels. See if you can feel the ball of the big toe of your front foot. The next breath. And with your out breath, very slow descent back into down dog. The hands coming down. And then you can slide right hand back again. And there you are, back into down dog. Bit of bend through the knees. A bit of softening through the core, even a bit of sway through the body here. Left leg's coming up. So take your time to let it float up, no rush whatsoever. And then again, we're drawing the left knee up and into the belly. Your gaze will come forward a little bit there. And just pause there for a breath or so. And then, left foot will come between hands. And take your time to flick that back foot down. And then you can anchor all 4 points of the back foot on the mat. And using that to lift up, no rush, into warrior one. And a few breaths here on this side. Now keep downward flow really prevalent in your mind. That will really help to anchor and ground any of that restless energy that can just course through the body at times when there's a lot of things on, things to do, uncertainty, change, all that kind of thing. Another out breath. And you're finding your way back into down dog. Now, from down dog, looking forward and coming up and over into a plank. So take your time to do that. You may need to walk your hands forward a little bit there. Look forward. Another breath. And your knees dropping down. And with your knees dropping down, come down onto your forearms again. Now, you've got a few options here. You can come into a half dog, so your sit bones are drawing up and back. If you want a little bit of a stronger practice here, you want to work on core, you walk each foot back in turn, and you're lifting up into a plank on your forearms, which is quite strong. Lift up into your belly. If you want, you can just slide over onto the left-hand edge of your left foot, the little toe edge of the left foot. So you're coming into a twisty shape. Your feet will just slide over. Come back to the center line, onto the outer edge of your right foot. Left foot will follow, and then to twist onto that side. Back again onto your forearms. Whatever version you're doing, whether you're in the melting heart, coming down onto the belly, everyone meeting on the belly, elbows out to the sides, making a little cushion for your forehead with your fingers. And your in-breath again, breathing into the belly, fill that expanse with the earth. Next breath, reach your arms out and behind you and interlace your fingers. You're resting them on your spine. Now you're squeezing your shoulder blades here together, a bit like the same action as you would do in bridge. And you're lifting up the front chest. You may be able to lift your arms a little bit and just resting them on the sacrum. And a few breaths here. Find one. Hands coming back down under the shoulders. An in-breath lifting into cobra. And then bringing each forearm in turn down to the mat so your elbows are directly underneath your shoulders and you're into space. Keep your gaze soft here. Keep lifting your neck up away from your shoulders. Feeling your hands connected to the mat. So grounding the upward flow. Coming down onto your belly again, hands underneath the shoulders. From here you can either lift up into down dog, or as we did before, you can tuck under your toes, or keep the toes flat, lift into a cobra, and then you can lift into an up dog, up into a plank, toes tucking under again, and then back into down dog. Well done. So we do that circular motion again with the legs here. So your right leg will lift up again, point the toes, really stretch up into that right foot, and then the right knee coming first over to the left hand side, out to the right hand side, back out behind you, no rush. We'll do one more round. And that's quite heavy duty on the core here. It's so grounding though, so wonderful, opening up into the hips. And your challenge is to see if you can do it without feeling that sense of, I wouldn't say it's rising panic, but you know when there's an effort involved, riding back into down dog. When there's that effort involved, and then you can always want to race through that effort, trying to get to the other side. So letting yourself feel that slight anxiety of how, what's going to happen, is my body going to do it? And then just trusting, however it happens, it's just happening onto the left hand side. Left leg lifting up. Just letting it happen. However it is going to your left knee over to the right side, over to the left. Lifting back out again, stretch up and back down into down dog. Now bend both knees now, draw your sit bones back, you're crouching, and from here you're stepping, jumping, hopping up to the top of the mat into Uttanasana. Out breath, folding. Now as you did earlier, ground your feet now, all four corners of your feet to the mat. And then you're lifting up through your backs of the legs, so up towards your sit bones. And then from that, your spine is just hanging. So with your elbows out to either side, let your head become heavy here. As if the head is being pulled down towards the earth. Even as you're lifting up through the backs of the legs. Bend your knees again, we're coming back into chair. Arms floating up. Sit deep in your chair. See how it feels if you do let yourself drop that little bit deeper. Long, deep breaths. Left arm over to the right hand side. The trick here is to make sure your hips are both facing forward and your knees are forward. So you're trying to find as much balance through the spine there. Your arms may want to open, thus keep them in prayer. Come back into your chair pose. You can circle the arms up. Move down into your heels, into the feet. And right hand coming over to your left hand side. You're arriving there. Your arms may want to open. Back into chair. The last breath, I promise, so sit deep into that chair. And then folding forwards, straightening up into the forward fold. Look forward in your forward fold of your spine. And then from here, back into down dog or into plank. The long, steady motions, movements here to arrive. Gaze soft. And then either lowering your knees down in your down dog, in your plank, or else lowering down and you're back on the belly. In breath into cobra. Toes tucking under and either pushing back into down dog or else lifting up into up dog, drawing up into plank, and then toes tucked under, pushing up into down dog. So we're all arriving here in down dog. And we're coming into a lunge here. So your right foot is going to float up. Keep your hips level here rather than twisting too much. And then the right knee will come into your core. You can just hover it there. You can just step the right foot, stand up and then step the right foot forward. Through in between the hands. And you're easing forward. Now it may feel right here to walk your hands forward a little bit further than your feet. Or you may want to just keep them by the sides of the body. And we're going to bring the hands over to the big toe side, the left hand side of the right foot. Not going to be here for too long. Fear not, fear not. Another breath. Right hand coming back to the right hand side, left hand balancing there. So then you can lift up, swing that right leg up, and arrive back into down dog. Just a little bit of sway, a little bit of free movement in your down dog. And you're coming onto the other side. So left leg lifting up high. Remember, keep your hips as balanced as you can here. And then the left knee up and into the core. Look forward. Remember, you can just step your feet to get to the position. Left foot through. So you're starting in the high lunge here. The gaze forward. And it may feel right to walk your hands a bit further forward. And from there, you can bring your hands, whatever version you're using, to the big toe side, both hands on the big toe side of the front foot, over to the right. Look into your next breath, and then hands coming back, walk them back so they're level with your foot, left leg coming out behind you, and back down onto the mat. Just to adjust your feet very wide as you're right up to the edges of your mat to soften the spine. And then turn your hands out a little bit so your fingers are staying out to the sides in your down dog. And let your head hang between your shoulders. Fingers forward, dropping down to your knees, down onto the knees, easing back to your heels, arms stretched out. Give yourself another couple of breaths. And then coming out into kneeling. Now your toes are tucked under here, so you're sitting back on your heels. Do make sure as well you've got a blocked hand here for a moment's time. Hands on the knees, or else you can bring them forward to take a little bit of the weight. Keeping your spine long, whatever version you're using there. 3 breaths in. And seeing, as we have been doing, you can just let the weight of the body relax downwards on your heels. And if you can let yourself breathe without feeling that slight rigid residual rushing, that sense of anxiety in a way. Feeling the anxiety, but just letting it be, but still breathing fully, making that choice to breathe very fully. And hands coming forward. So you're going to just stretch out your feet a little bit there. With the blood coming back into your toes, lovely. And now your blockers here, if you'd like to come, when you come into squat, if you'd like to put a block behind you, and so then you can bring your heels onto the edge of that block, that's all good. You may be comfortable just coming into full squat. You may need 1 or 2 blocks there to lift up your heels a little bit higher and to keep your hands forward for some extra support. So just explore a little bit. Your feet, if they're closer together, it's a bit harder on the hips. If they're wider apart and the toes turn down slightly, it will make it a little bit easier. And so, stretching the hands forward, your knees are out to the sides. Now, can you root down into all 4 corners of the feet, whatever version you're doing here? You can have your hands on the mat here, just encourage that easy out. Root down, root down, keep the gaze soft, the neck long, another round of breath. And from here, you may want to ease out into down dog as one option, or else planting hands down. Really root down into your hands. You're lifting up the heels now, you're balancing the ball of the feet. And then just explore that Krasna, crane here. Hands lifting down. Bring the feet together, inwards, balance forward. You're tipping your weight forward. And the feet may want to lift up, squeeze them together. Draw up into your core. Keep breathing, relaxing. And coming back down again. Another round into squat here. You're lying back, heels up on your block if you're using one. Arms stretching forward, knees out to the side. Another breath. Let go of the weight into the feet. And then we're just dropping the bottom down onto the floor. So you're sitting now on a block, you may just want to remove it. Hands to either sides of the body, stretching out the legs, they're lying down. And an in-breath, arms floating up. Now feel your roots through your sit bones there. So a bit like a tree does when it grows. There's no effort, no conscious effort to pull the shoulders up. The roots, all that's happening from your roots. There's that gentle lifting, easing up into the canopy of the tree. From the surety, from the groundedness of roots to earth. Another in-breath. And you're folding forward, hinging from the waist. Arms floating down with gravity into the forward fold. And last off, letting go of the head and the weight of the head. So it's just hanging between the shoulders. And arriving up and into sitting again. So, just pushing your block to the side here, sliding around the feet now, and we're lying back, hands in front of us, into down dog. And we're just doing a little bit of hip opening here as we arrive in down dog. But first of all, we'll just spend 2 or 3 breaths here. And then, coming into single pigeon, your right knee is coming forward. It's coming just behind your right hand. The right foot's just on a diagonal over to the left hand side. And from there, sliding your left leg back. If you do find that left hip or right hip is a long way off the floor, you can just use your block pin and slide it underneath your pelvis so you've got something to rest on, so you feel more grounded. And then you can really work with that releasing of your body's weight into the earth. Now, just take your time to arrive in a comfortable position. Keeping balance on both sides, looking forward, and then we're bringing the arms forward and slowly relaxing down. You may just want to come onto the forearms. You may be comfortable stretching out the arms, coming all the way down. Softening into any tightness that's stopping you from relaxing the body's weight. And sliding back in. And now you're swinging your left foot around onto the mat. And it's arriving, you're bringing the left foot over the right knee. If that feels uncomfortable at all, then you can just stretch out the left leg in front of you and do a twist from this starting position. Otherwise, left leg is over the right knee. And there, you're going to hug in that right knee. Hugging in the right knee. And then, from that, left hand coming behind you, and you're looking over towards your left shoulder. So if you can anchor both sit bones fully down into the mat, and then that will allow you to lift up and lengthen through both sides of your waist. Shoulders soft, gaze soft. We're going to gently ease back into down dog. So you'll bring your hands forward And then you're going to untwist your legs, stepping the right foot back, stepping the left foot back. And then, after a few breaths, realigning in down dog. We're doing the opposite side. So left knee behind the left arm and hand, the foot over to the right hand side, dropping down into the right knee, slowly sliding that right knee back. Remember, you can use your block and just slide it underneath your pelvis so you've got something to rest on there. Reach the blanket underneath them. Now that may be quite enough there. You may feel comfortable coming down into the forearms. And from there, you may be happy coming the lower way down and dropping the head towards the floor. We'll take a few breaths here in vision. Relaxing the body straight downward. And then walking your hands back up. And we're sliding the right foot around. Now you can either come into your twist with left foot into the right thigh, else you can lift that right leg over the left knee. And then you're hugging that right knee in, right hand comes behind you, and you're into the twist, over to the right hand side. And keep your gaze soft. Anchoring down both sit bones equally into the floor. The next breath, we're going to just stretch out the legs this time and turn. And then you just may want to wiggle them a little bit. Just wiggle them from side to side to realign the legs. Flex your toes back in towards your heels. Just lift up the flesh either side of the sit bones. In breath, arms straighten up. And out breath, hinging from waist, folding forwards. And wherever your hands come to rest, then relaxing your elbows to the sides and just dropping the weight of the head between the shoulders. And you're slowly coming back into sitting again. Then catching hold of your block here, we're coming into a supported bridge. So you can choose what level of the block you want. You may just want one block and then two blocks stacked on top of each other. You may want to turn this block onto this edge. I think any higher than that, that gets a little bit difficult, a bit precarious bouncing that high. So maybe go onto that middle edge if you've got a block like this. We've got to explore what height's going to be good there. And you're stepping your feet as close into your body as you can. And then, very slowly lifting up just one or so vertebrae, so your pelvis is hanging off the floor. almost like you're in a hammock. And you just feel the weight of the feet there, supporting the weight of the trunk. And just take a couple of breaths down into your belly. And then you can lower your pelvis back down. Now before we come into supported bridge, we just open up into bird shape. Done a lot of forward folding this class, and now we're opening up really the opposite way, into the front of the body. So now with your in-breath, you'll lift up into your bridge, move down into your feet, and your arms will float up over the head. Breathing in, and breathing out, bringing everything back down again. Another in-breath, pelvis floating up, and the arms floating up. The out breath, coming back down. And more out. And then catching hold of your block and lifting up into your bridge, breathing in, and then sliding your block underneath the sacrum. It takes maybe a little bit, just maybe to kind of move the block around to find that space, that point on the sacrum where you can drop the weight of the sacrum down quite comfortably. You'll feel the rim of the block. But if you just float right up on the edge of that pelvic rim, it shouldn't dig in too much. And then you actually will probably find it's really rather comfortable. You can start to relax downwards, being supported. Arms can be by the sides of the body, reaching towards the feet. And you may find you can kind of walk the shoulders under a little bit more to open up the chest a bit more fully. And using that block to relax your body's weight onto. But make sure that you're still reaching down to all four corners of your feet rather than letting your knees stay out. Either you're going to spend now another few rounds of breath there, or else you may want to lift your right leg up towards ceiling, flex the toes up and towards you, so you're pushing the ceiling up with your foot. Now relax your weight downwards again. That foot coming down, front it down. And the same with the other side. Right foot lifting up, you're flexing the toes. And then make sure you're relaxing the weight of the body downwards, into the block, into shoulders. Right foot coming down. You may want to do one round on each side again, or else you may want to have a go. You do have to kind of make sure you've got your block flat underneath you. Lifting up both legs in turn. And you're coming into a supported shoulder stand. You can use your hands just there, secure the block a little bit more. Keep relaxing your body's weight down. And then bringing both feet down, back into supported bridge. And then lifting the pelvis just a fraction to slide the block out. And you're slowly lowering your pelvis down again. The pelvis sliding down, knees hugging in. And a few circles or rocking from side to side. Just to ease out. Do a few more circles from one side to the other. Okay, drop your feet down to the mat. And the feet down to the mat, arms opening out to the sides. And then you're stretching each leg in turn out. You're arriving into Shavasana. And feeling this sense in Shavasana, really resting on the earth. As if you were a log of wood. It's lying on its surface. Part of the earth. Returning to the earth. If you've got a little bit more time, you may want to spend a few moments more in Shavasana. Otherwise, starting to move fingers, toes, head from side to side. And then bending knees and rolling over to your right hand side for a few moments. And finding your way up and into sitting. And arriving and sitting, hands resting on the lap or on the knees. And keeping your eyes shut. And then, following the flow of your breath, both in-breath into the body, out-breath rising up. Following the flow of both cycles of the breath.
into the earth. And feeling your breath holding you on the earth, its surface. As a part of the earth. And your gaze opening, eyes opening, the gaze soft, and hands coming up to the heart. And there, bowing forwards to self and each other. Thank you.